So what you're looking at here, I want you to pay attention to the big word testosterone, right? So we know that testosterone is the male hormone, but you also got to know that when you have high levels of testosterone, a lot of that testosterone is going to be aromatized and become estradiol, right? And that is traditionally known as a women's hormone. The issue with it becoming estradiol is that now your body has to figure out what it's going to do with the estradiol. So our next question comes from a gentleman who is basically telling me that he has always had very high testosterone. His free testosterone has been off the charts for a really long time, but now what's happening is he's having an enlarged prostate and ED, and he's trying to kind of get to the bottom of why this could be.
First of all, thank you for your kindness in offering to answer a question. I am 83 years old, in excellent health, take no medicine, but have an enlarged prostate, number one, and number two, been that way since I was in my 30s. Number three, for some reason, since my 40s, my free testosterone level is over 1100, and I've been fearful of that my whole life, but have had no physician able to tell me why I would have a free testosterone level that high. I have ED. Viagra doesn't work anymore. I'm able to masturbate every day and have no trouble with that. So I'm kind of anomaly.
I think one thing, okay, so a couple things about this question. One, the free testosterone being super high like that. I think it always is important for doctors to try to figure out why something is an anomaly like that. I mean, because technically when you hear a free testosterone of being 1100, when we're trying to help gentlemen optimize, we're like usually like, hallelujah, that's a fantastic number there. And it seems like it served him well because he's in his 80s. He seems like he's doing really well. He's not on any medication. So that high level of testosterone has actually appears like it's been really helpful. Because if you remember and you go back to some of my videos on testosterone, we find that having optimized levels of testosterone helps men stay in optimal health, right? There were some studies years ago that came out and said that there was an association, not a cause and effect, but an association between elevated levels of free testosterone and potentially prostate cancer. But they haven't really, the verdict is still out as to what that is, because you can have high testosterone levels and that can be associated with a wide number of other things that could be contributing to the prostate cancer. So we haven't really gotten anywhere with that. But what I do want to reiterate is when we're looking into having high levels of free testosterone, remember that if you start taking testosterone or if you have high levels of testosterone, that testosterone is not going to just stick around and stay testosterone. That testosterone is going to decide, how much of this should become estradiol? And a large part of it will become estradiol or estrogen. And estrogen levels being really high can, in fact, impact erectile function. Right? Men need to have a little bit of estradiol there. Estrogen is protective. It is a good thing. It helps keep you sensitive and all of that. It helps you with your bone density, but you don't need too much estrogen. So I would, if I were this gentleman, ask the doctors, well, how is my estradiol doing? The other part to this is that every day you're exposed to fake estrogens in your food, in our, the toothpaste, in our water, in everything that we are encountering. We are always on a regular basis encountering fake estrogens. So if your body is naturally in a state where you're predisposed to make extra estrogen, now we're being exposed to fake toxic estrogen, and it can wreak havoc on the prostate, causing inflammation, and it can wreak havoc on how your body responds to the testosterone that's there. Because see, some of you may have high levels of testosterone, but if your body can't use that testosterone, it's not doing us any good, right? So that's why we talk about fasting. We talk about moving more and trying to create these situations that not only is the testosterone elevated, but now your body can actually use it. because it's just like anything else, like insulin. Your body makes insulin, but if you're insulin resistant or pre-diabetic, your body sees that insulin and that fuel sitting around and it can't really use it all that well. So that becomes part of the process too. Another thing, whenever Viagra stops working, I always go back to the basics. Is there enough nitric oxide? Are you making enough nitric oxide for that to even be working? And probably not, because every decade of life, our ability to make nitric oxide decreases significantly. So that by the time you're in your 80s, you are making almost 15% of the nitric oxide that you used to make in your 20s. So I would start there. I would start working on boosting nitric oxide production. And so also for anyone who's 80 and has been struggling with an enlarged prostate since they were in their 30s, now we got to look at prostate inflammation, because remember, based off of the anatomy, where the prostate sits, there are the nerves and the arteries that have to go to the erection. So if that prostate is too enlarged there, it will interfere with the erectile capacity. And so I always start at the basics. Can you tolerate prostatic massage? Can we try to massage the prostate to improve the size and the symptoms associated with it? Do you need some herbal support for the prostate? Do we need to put you on, a blend of supplements that are going to help decrease prostate size, decrease prostate symptoms, add some zinc and magnesium and things like that into the mix to help cure that? So I think honestly, you got to look at your nitric oxide. You've got to look at your estradiol levels, or you have too much estrogen that could potentially be there. And for instance, this would be a great instance where somebody might want to try DIM. But then the other part is we got to figure out the piece on the prostate. Okay.